Hello and welcome to another episode of the Aberdare Park Road Races podcast. It's been,
too long.
Too long.
Sorry, it's been too long. We've been away working hard and we're finally back.
But yeah, at least we're doing something. You know, it's better than, none at all. But you've been touring all over everywhere.
Yeah, the world. Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been busy. I've been cleaning up nappies and stuff. So yeah, we're glad to be back. Anyway, a lot of things developing in the world of Aberdare Park Road Races. We've got live timing coming in, thanks to our friends at Scarborough, which is great news.
Yep, thanks Andy
and
Wendy.
Wendy, yeah. So that's going to be introduced this year, and there's a lot of other things happening as well, which we can't quite announce yet. But yeah, some really exciting stuff. Hopefully get announced soon. So yeah, all really good. So Jay, you've been the start of your season was last weekend. How did it go?
Yeah, Bishop's Court, 6th and 7th on the twin, 12th and 16th on the 600. So got a bit of work to do on the 600, but the twin's pretty good already. So I was up against boys that have done 1,000 laps of Bishop's Court. I haven't been on a bike for 7 months, and that 7 months I broke my collarbone.
I was going to say, how is the injury now? Is it settling down?
Back to normal. Yeah, still no sense, still no feeling. So that's just me.
Ready for a busy season, busy summer.
Yeah, get some laps in, get it done.
Brilliant. And regular listeners probably realise that we're not in the usual place. We are with Mikey Rees, who's here today. Hello, Mikey.
I'm looking forward to this. I am looking forward to this.
Sure.
Oh,
welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Great setup. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, it is class. Fair play.
I know. Yeah, we were really surprised when we came in. And it was just like, you got it well sorted here.
You spend most of your time in the workshop, wouldn't you?
I can imagine, yeah. Not so much for me, but for you guys.
Have you ever slept in yet?
No.
Not yet. Yeah.
No, thanks for having us, mate. It's a pleasure. We were trying to get you on for a little while, but we've got you on now finally.
Time's right.
It's like that with a lot of the boys. We always try and go, yeah, come on, and like, and then it's fine when we get to it. But as we always ask every person we have on board is, like, how did you get into racing? What was your sort of love for motorbikes? How did it all begin for you?
My cousin used to just ride off-road bikes, bigger ski 501s, all that sort of stuff. And I used to watch him in his back garden. I was only a kid, it was tiny. See him fettling in, and he started up and go off and ride on a Sunday. I was like, oh my God. He'd be echoing the street, the Trevelyan, you know what I mean? It was mint. And then he took, and obviously we was living in Aberdare, Newcomers as well. Yeah. So, annual motorbike races, you could hear it from the house. You could not be interested in it, could you?
Yeah. Same here, exactly the same in the regular. So, your first experience of Aberdare, and was it like as a kid, as a fan, or do you remember your first
not really.
Time?
Not really. No, to be honest, I've always been off-road. So Western Beach Race was my cousin used to take me there every year. That was my sort of real close. I wasn't even tall enough to look over the fence. And with regards to Aberdare Park, I was more spectating from outside because I was only a kid. My family, apart from my cousin, were really into motorbikes. He was off-road, not really road racing. So yeah, I mean, if it were me, she used to jump on BMXs and go and have a nose like.
As you do, like just have a look over the wall kind of thing, as you used to do.
Yeah, kids growing up.
Yeah, a bit harder these days, mine.
Stick a can of Coke in the back wheel and pretend we...
Oh yeah, clickety clackers or a can of Coke or playing card.
So in terms of like racing then, was it like off-road, there was kind of like the first thing you got into, was that kind of where you wanted to go initially? Or?
I had my first bike when I was 12, I had a KX80, and totally blagged it. Told my man I could ride a bike. And it was
good start.
Yeah,
good
totally black.
Power band come in, rip the arms off.
And it was literally Christmas morning. Jumped on this bike and we was off on my own with a couple of the boys.
On the streets of like Trevelyan and was it Trevelyan?
Believe it or not, I was living in Cumdare at the time.
Right.
So was the country park. There was an actual couple of motocross tracks in the Dare Valley Country Park. Imagine trying that now.
Yeah, carnage, yeah.
It's not going to happen, is it? No. But no, and that's how it was, yeah.
Brilliant. So was that just like messing about around the streets, was it? Or?
No, it was literally just up around the mountains.
Yeah.
It was only 12. It didn't last very long, though.
Just bugger off up the mountain, but then out the way.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was.
You're not hurting anyone.
No. Yeah, it was a lot more accepted back then, though. There was 2 motocross tracks literally in the Dare Valley Country Park, and it was people would stop for dogs to go through. It was kind of a bit more accepted back then, you know.
Well, almost every household had a motorbike anyway. You know, people couldn't afford cars and stuff as well.
What sort of year are we talking about there then?
I was 12.
12, so I don't know. I don't want to do the maths. Well, what year would that have been?
I'm going to clue. I'm 49. Yeah, 49.
Somebody want to work
Same
that out?
race number.
Yeah, mad. But then, stupid twat, my brother, he had a Pooch 50 automatic the year later. Smashed himself up in the res, up in the country park. Proper job, mind. Both femurs, one arm, shattered his jaw. Throttle stuck flat out in him, 6 foot drop into a river. Proper job.
Much damage to the river?
No comment. So I had to sell it, and I was like, no way, I can ride a motorbike. I don't need to sell mine just because he's a daft twat.
So you got forced to sell it off the back of that nightmare.
So my motocrossing days as a kid lasted for 1 year.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So what happened then? Like obviously you had to try and sell that. I mean, you were busting to get back onto someone else.
As soon as I started working. As soon as I started working at the tip, and then I was saving money, and yeah, I bought a Ski 400 two-stroke. Why?
Nice.
Why?
Nice.
Oh, it was a beast of a thing. And genuinely now, right, I couldn't afford kit. So I
rigger boots, jeans.
No, I borrowed 5 gallons of engine oil from work and swapped it for a pair of boots for one of the boys. Helmet was a cast off, and I was literally in my work clothes. I'm having with that. She thought, oh, I love him, look, he's working so hard, look at the state of his clothes. What? Just goes up a mountain. On a Sunday. Give him back.
Let's get the violin down for that one. If it worked, yeah.
I hid it from her for about 2 years. I had to tell her in the end because it was
2 years.
It was.
I feel guilty now after 2 years. Like, that doesn't seem right now. Sorry, ma'am.
It was. She was asking questions. Where's all my money going? You know, I think she thought I was up to no good. Like,
so are you coming home covered in crap?
Yeah.
Covered in shit, head to toe in shit.
It could be worse. If you're into that, it could have been a lot worse.
You got no money.
But you got that. I mean, where did the sort of racing sort of creep into your early life? Was it an interest from the start, or was it something you just fell into?
No.
Or?
Mate of mine, Di Morris, David, he'd skip by a company. So I used to see him regularly. He was, at the tip. And we used to ride with him. So it was like half a dozen of us. We'd meet up on a Sunday, go and rattle around the mountains and great. And Di was a good rider. And I started hanging on the back of his tail. And then before I was passing him, and he was like, listen, but he said, you've got to go and have a go racing. I was like, how the fuck do I do that? And it was literally back at Trails and Motocross News at the time. There was none of this online. Self-addressed envelope, pick an event, send it off. Information would come back, it was all that nonsense. And I did literally enter an enduro, turned up there, and Wayne Mounter from Mounter Motorcycles was there, and tapped him on the shoulder. I said, excuse me, he was talking to a couple of boys. I said, excuse me, Wayne. He said, just turned up, it's my first event. He said, what do I do? He said, sign on down there, but so it goes off, signs on, and they give me this time card. What's all it's about? So Wayne saw it, and he's talking to the boys, like, sorry, bud, any chance you could help me? He said, what's this? He said, but you have not got a clue what you're doing about. I said, no, never done one before. I genuinely didn't know nothing about it.
Just here, like,
Admit. And he did, he helped me fill out a time card, explained the concept to me, and off I went. But
how'd you find it? Like
instantly hooked.
Yeah.
To the point where I just kept going, and Wayne sponsored me after a while. We used to do British Championship together, become very good friends, raced all over the country. It was mint.
How old were you at that time then?
18, 19, started racing.
Was it, I suppose, when it comes to sort of heroes and people you look up to, was there anyone in particular, a legend or not famous pace, or was it a local star, or you thought like, oh yeah, no, that's kind of what I want to be, that's kind of what I want to do? Because
it was the off-road thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
David Knight was the man.
Yeah, of course.
Paul Edmondson.
Yeah, fast
turned into good friends with Paul in the end, and his family. Nice guys, like, yeah, so it was that sort of starting, yeah, good days. But
Lee Sargent for the trials and stuff as well? No? because I come from a trials background,
Right.
so we used to go down his farm riding trials and they used to have a bunch of enduro boys there, and like yeah.
Trials is mint.
Well, Greg Thomas from Eartha.
Done a trial with him 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Got a hell of a laugh.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Fair play to anyone who does it.
My first ever boss, Greg, was 12 years old. Greg Thomas racing a Squana in Eartha.
Class.
Proper.
When did roads sort of come into the equation then? Was it?
Not till later on. Well, there it is. So that front number board there was literally, they started this loophole where you could race Aberdare Park, supermoto.
Yeah.
You didn't, because we all it was a national
Yeah,
circuit,
of course, yeah.
nationalise it. It was a loophole back then where you literally just applied for your supermoto license, added the ACU, and all of a sudden you could race Aberdare Park. There was 5 of us lined up to, well, I say 5 lined up to do it. The boys were nagging me to do it, and I was having none of it.
Why's that?
Do you know what? I wasn't anti-road bikes, but I knew I shouldn't have one. Do you know what I mean? I always knew I need to stay away from this track. Like. I mean, every ride, you know, be it up the mountain, be it on a road, all starts off lovely. You know, you go through the forestry, or you're going up through Brecon. It's mint, isn't it? Wind in your hair.
Then someone passes you.
And then you stop, you have a cuppa or a bit of crack, bit of food, and it's the way home. It's always on the way home, but that's when it all starts.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, right? I'm not knocking it. It's the best part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it proper is. But yeah, I had mates who had road bikes, and they were going upside down and inside out. And
You weren't feeling it then?
I just knew to stay away from it because I knew how it was going to end. I'm competitive. Got to push on, and I could see that.
I mean, it didn't work, did it?
No, pushing on a road when you got other cars about is like.
So was that your first time in Aberdare on one of them now? Was it?
My first ever time on slick tyres.
Right.
Never even
Just straight in.
straight
Boom,
in.
straight in.
So that I had a KTM 350 enduro bike at the time, right?
Good bike.
Good bike, but not designed for going
Yeah.
around Aberdare Park.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
The boy said, "We're doing a supermoto race. You need to do it with us." I was like, "No, I don't." I was like, "No, you really do." I said, "What am I going to do it on?" Thinking, "Oh, I'm going to supermoto bike. Do it on your enduro bike." I was like, "Right, okay." Lost that one. I am on wheels. I'm going to set the wheels we can borrow.
I'm trying to get out of this.
I'm running out of excuses. Yeah. And genuinely now, Daffy had a crack with him, give me some gearing, cut the chain, made it smaller, put a load of compression on the clickers front and back, stuck his... and I only had one set of wheels, but I had 2 sets of tyres. And it was dry on the first day, and then it rained on the next day, and I swapped them over, and it mint. So that's how it panned out. It was if it had rained halfway through the day, I would have been... Yeah, went out on practice, and I was like, oh, obviously I knew where I was going, didn't I?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we pushed her under a pram, for God's sake.
Yeah. Walking your dog on it, like, yeah.
And I was like, oh, fucking hell, plenty of grip. I was really surprised how much grip it was.
Yeah.
Everyone says that. It's
I
because there's
was
no traffic on it
really
ever, is it? It's, you know, it's pretty green all year, isn't it, really?
Yeah. No, but I was just on about the whole thing.
Yeah,
First time on the tarmac,
yeah,
first time on the
you're
tyres.
used to a motocross
Exactly,
bike.
yeah. So loose, innit?
And the track changing every single corner, every single lap, you know. But, yeah.
There was 5 of us from Aberdare in the same race, and it was carnage. Honestly. Kyle.
Yeah.
I know Kyle, yeah.
Kyle?
Yeah, I was in school with Kyle, yeah.
But he went up a start straight, went over the jump, back wheel kicked up in the air, didn't come down quick enough. You could see the skid mark. Right? When his back wheel touched the ground, there was a black line on the tarmac. Ben goes off, and then there was a brown line then when he hit the grass. Straight down, he got through 2 oak trees by about this much. Right? And binned it somewhere up towards the back gate, right? Legend, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good lad, Kyle, yeah. I know he's...
I jumped on my push bike. We had a look at the bike. I think he had a 501, a ski 501, I think that was. It was a proper job for the day, actually. And I jumped on my push bike and cycled to my house in Trevelyan, kicked the back shed door in, got a set of bars, couple of levers, cycled back, fixed it, and got it back out in the next race.
I love how old school that is. So that is proper road race. It's proper, isn't it? Yeah.
You know, these stories are why we do this, and why you know, we want to hear them, like.
Yeah, I instantly hooked then.
Yeah.
I was instantly hooked to the tarmac.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Did you like that after that weekend at Aberdare? You thinking, right, let's explore this more. Like where else can I go to?
It was more than that.
Yeah.
It was full objective. Bought a 400 straight away. Asking questions. Literally, the questions were, what have I got to do to come back here on a road bike next year? And I was literally a road racing slag again because I was going everywhere.
Thanks to Aberdare, essentially.
Yeah. I was with North Gloucester, I was going to Bemsey, I was going to anywhere.
I was exactly the same. Every weekend, like Bank Holiday weekend used to be Tom Vanna on a Saturday, used to be Darley-Moor on a Sunday, used to be Anglesey on a Monday.
Yeah.
And we'd go and do all three. And it would be like that week out.
Just to get the signatures, like.
Just hooked on it, like.
Yeah.
And you're on I got a 400. So
I
like
bought
just literally.
on the VFR.
Yeah.
400 from some guys.
NC30.
Yeah. It was. I thought it was the business. When I'd done a track day down I thought North Gloucester was down there, and I thought I'd better go and do a track day first before I...
Yeah.
So I went down and I don't know if it was... must have been at Phil Bedland. Anyway, so I turns up there now. Stan was down there. A couple of the boys, and he went off and had a word with Porchy. He said, look, my mate's having a go. Can you help him out, like, show him the lines or whatever? Porchy come over, he took one look at me, he said, what the fucking hell are you doing? I'm a leathers round, bare chest, sun was out, leathers tied on my shirt, smoking a fag, forgot my rear stand, so I only had the front, no, the other way around, sorry, I only had a tyre warmer on the back. No tyre warmer on the front.
You just deal with it when it happens.
Well, I didn't really...
Just warming up on there.
Didn't really understand the full concept of why we needed these warmers as much as we did. Like,
so it was proper like rag, like.
Yeah, it was. It really,
what
it
year
really
would that
was.
been then? Because if you,
I think that was.
Yeah, it would have been about
14, 15.
Yeah.
It's written on the Aberdare Park badge.
So quite sort of late to the game then, really, I suppose.
Yeah.
Roads.
I was in my 40s, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, proper late to the game.
Yeah. Do you wish you kind of like got into it a bit earlier?
Yeah, I really do. Yeah.
Yeah. If you could wind the clock back.
Yeah,
and
100%.
stuff. But it is what it is.
Yeah, but you did extremely well in Enduro.
Enjoyed that.
And all that, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So much so you've done Erzberg.
Romaniacs.
I
went and done the Red Bull Romaniacs.
Yeah. And that,
Class.
that's nothing.
Class.
Like that, surely that's the epitome of enduro racing. Like, and how many times?
Oh, I only done another once. I want to do the 6 days. That's something, the international 6 days enduro. That's still something I got to go and do.
Yeah.
But I got my boy riding now. He's just turned 16. We got a little KTM 125. In fact, we're doing a trial together on Sunday now. Mint.
Are you finding that with with your young one getting into it? Like,
he's loving it. He's loving it.
Is he interested in roads as well, or?
I'm not going to let him.
We'll say this now.
No.
Yeah, we'll
do
keep
as I say,
now.
not as I do, boy.
We'll give it a few years.
Oh, wait till he's coming home covered in mud. And he got no money.
No, that's
He's working so hard.
That's it,
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, he's got a... You never know. You might look at what you've been doing thinking, I fancy a bit of that.
The kids, they make their own way, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day. But, yeah,
They do, yeah. You're absolutely right. Well, I did, didn't I? And... Yeah, he's in the off-road. I mean, we'll just push him down that road, keep him going with that and it. And yeah, it's not just... Well, it's expensive, isn't it? We talked about it early on, road racing is like...
I think any racing now, just full
valid
stop.
point.
It's anything. It's just
yeah,
everything.
Valid point.
I think we're all struggling to a point. Like it's a rumour. It's not confirmed, but FHO are going through.
Yeah, that's the latest.
So that's the latest rumour. Like
a big team,
Theo's parents are pretty well off, and if they're going through, then what chance have we all got?
I know a lot of staff have gone to the team at Davey and Peter got that 8-10 team, but still, it's a big setup, the FHO, and for a good few years. So
big part of the BSP, big part of the roads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, and obviously what we saw chatting about earlier with OMG as well. It's a very
Well,
It'll
a
be very
lot of
interesting.
boys out to work as well, you know, some great riders out rides this year.
And staff mechanics
Yeah.
as well.
I've had a
engineers.
personal loss there myself because we won't touch on it now, but the product I got with their performance emissions, they were lined up to do a trial.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that with OMG, was it? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, they were going for it. They've had the product, they were just starting to test
Well,
it.
I tried the product in my van, you know, I do miles and miles in my van, and she's going great, like.
We will definitely come to that.
Yeah.
But I think that's just a sign of the industry at the moment, and it is challenging. But I do like what the TT are doing in terms of from a media marketing background. I like what they're trying to do, but it's still difficult for teams and riders to get out there. Obviously, like talk about the Manx, which we will come to.
Yeah, how did you come to get to
The Manx.
Yeah, because it's a big step up from not knowing anything about roads.
It all happened the same time. I literally was hot off a press, Aberdare Park, on the supermoto. That's like the July time normally, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I went for the first time over at the Isle of Man. So I'm already buzzing at the concept now of jumping on a road bike, thinking it's my next thing, I gotta do it. And then I went over to the Isle of Man and I was on Glen Clutchy Road and I watched the start going off. I was like, oh my God.
It's like
This
that,
is the
innit?
next level.
Oh, I am coming here.
Yeah.
So it was literally, the two challenges were in one, really. I was like, first of all, I need to go and learn how to ride these bikes, you know. And while I was learning the bikes in the background as well, because I was 3 years learning the Isle of Man circuit.
Yeah, I was going to say, because how much did you know about the mountain course? Like you went there and thought, fuck, I gotta get into this. But,
Yeah, I just loved the
so
idea.
how did you learn? How was the concept of you? Because I know people do it in different ways, but like, how was...
Was it the computer game? Was
All
it
of it.
videos?
Oh, everything.
Driving it?
I'm not a gamer. You know, don't get me wrong, I'll have a go on a PlayStation. You know, we're all kids at the end of the day, So, but yeah, no, I'm not a gamer by any means, but I did buy that for the PlayStation, I really did. It all started... Wayne Axon, Siderman, went over there for the weekend. He took me on my first ever lap and taught me a lap. And I was blown away. And so it was 3 years I started to watch a bit of onboard on the first year, just a little bit, just sort of a Milky Quail with John McGuinness voiceover when he's on the pattern. It's nice and steady, sensible.
Yeah, there's no point looking at...
And he's still talking like you know?
Yeah. You're not going to learn anything looking at 130 something lap here, really.
No, you watch the Bruce Anstey one and it's literally like warp speed.
Mental.
It's like the Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah, and you've got, I've seen that one with Davey and Pete with the onboard in the helmet.
Yeah.
That's it's insane, isn't it? Like, and that was even like on a parade lap, one of them, wasn't it? But
look, you know, you've probably heard the example of it. You know, you've got a green haze over here and a green haze over there and a black haze in the middle. You try to
stay in the black haze.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it genuinely is like that in some places, man.
Yeah. So as you were learning that, building up to get to the Manx, and you were still doing like North Gloss rounds, and were you doing any other road events to?
The first year when I had the 400, so I did the track day, then I went back to Pembrey for my first go, which was, I think, like the last one of the season then, if that makes sense. And then I realised my bike was too slow. Typical, innit? Typical racer. I need a faster bike.
It's not me, it's a bike.
That's it, Dad.
It's always
a bike.
It's always the bike.
Always a bike.
The reason why I don't ride anymore, it was always the bike.
It's always a bike.
Can't have bought the ZXR. And then I'd done a full year as a newcomer then with North Gloucester.
Yeah.
I just loved it. But the people say, what's your favourite circuit? And I'm like, I love them all.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I come away from everyone buzzing. Yeah. Loved it.
Because you're thankful and you get, like, we get to experience this. Yeah. Like, if you ever see me, right, whether I do good, bad, I will always wave the crowd. I will always thank the marshals. Yeah. Because those people dream of being out there doing what we're doing. So I still get that buzz to this day. That's why I still do it. Like,
I tell you what I started doing last year at the Manx. You know, all on Glen Clutchy Road, we were coming back into the pits, you come off the circuit on it. So I pulled over, I could see this kid there, and all these kids are there, and all waiting to I-5, weren't they? So I pulled over this one kid in it, let him have a little rev of the bike, and he was like, oh my God, it was mint. Pulled my tear off, give him the tear off, Oh my God. Went
Brilliant.
down, yeah, loved it. So they come looking for me then.
Yeah.
You know, sign it for them or whatever, you know, but
It's brilliant.
I'm not into it. Yeah, he was just making them, you know, a bit of crack, innit?
Well, yeah,
but it turned into a thing then. They all could see me coming. They put an extra tear-offs off the kids when they finished.
I said, do you know how much this is fucking costing me? Like, you know, number one. No, well, that's the thing, innit? We were all kids, right? So we all looked up to people.
But yeah, that's how you continue the sport and further the sport by they're going to be the next generation, like so.
Because they won't forget that. Like I wouldn't forgot.
No,
like,
definitely not.
You know, and that's something simple like that.
Definitely not. Yeah. So the kid that I actually gave it to, I didn't. She was a young girl, she was, and they came to find me after, and man, he owns a cafe in Douglas.
All right, yeah.
And he was like, bring everybody down and feed it, you know.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But that's Manx people anyway. They're awesome over there, but.
Yeah. So were you doing like events like Scarborough? Were you doing like stuff like the Southern around that time, building up to the Manx? Or what were you doing?
So it was. I was doing all the North Gloucesters, and I set them up with kind of John.
Yeah.
Beady John the Wizard.
Yeah.
Do you know, all the years, there's two people I always speak to for advice, Wayne Axon and John, and they both say the same fucking things, and they both always right. They're that sort of people, you know. And I rang John, and I said, John, I'm fancying going over Ireland, do a bit of road racing over there. I said, I fancy having a race from Cookstown. Right then, like he said, I tell you what we'll do. We'll stick the bike in the van, we'll go over to Northern Ireland, and then we'll pull the bike out and we'll have a little ride around to see if we like the track. And I was like, I can see what he's saying here. I totally get it, you know. And I was like, right, okay, yeah, we'll do that. What are we going to do it on? And that's all I had was a mini twin at the time. You know, every fuck was, you know, and it was not that I was going there to compete, but it was a ride round.
Yeah.
Have a look at this new scene and see if we really fancy it, like, you know. And so I was on this SV650, like 68 brake horse, you know.
It's still enough to get you in trouble.
Absolutely right, but yeah. Went out, come back in, took my helmet off, and he looked at me and went, all right then.
Here we go. Fancy a bit of this.
Totally wired. He's like, yes.
So which ones in Ireland did you have a
The
look?
Cookstown.
Sandagi.
No, I haven't. No, I know. It's back in it.
Yeah, and I think that's on everyone's wish list as well.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Lovely
to see that back.
Absolutely. No, I haven't. No. The only actual Irish roads I've done is Cookstown in the Northwest.
Was the Northwest like not long after you tried Cookstown then? And like,
no, that was
quite a big event, and that's a different level altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that was after the Manx Act, 19.
Right.
I was in 19, because I went, I went back. I went there with the Farquhar, and I had top 10. 8th or 9th, I think it was, first goal. Yeah. Mint, it was over the moon. Yeah. Same thing, I loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you'll never go so fast for so long in your life. Yeah. It's just back, and it's all slipstreaming thing. It's just
we watched it with Superbike race over the years. It's just like, who's going to jockey it now? Like, where do they break?
And that Superbikes, like Super Twins, is even more mental.
Carnage, isn't it? It's so good to watch. Like, you obviously had Aberdare as well before you sort of get to the Manx. So
of course.
How do you do Aberdare?
Oh, bloody hell. How have I done in Aberdare? Do you know what? I'm useless at lap times, what I've done in circuits and positions. I've had some podiums. And I've always loved it. It's a local circuit, isn't it? It's my, you know, I could listen to it as a kid growing up.
I know.
It's Aberdare, isn't it?
We're so fortunate. We were saying it earlier. We're so fortunate, and that's the point of the reason why we're doing this. Is like we're so fortunate. We've got that little mile-long circle, 0.9 to be precise, in the middle of Aberdare. What's that about? That is nuts in our little town in the valleys.
Four miles from my house, half a mile from your house, half a mile from
It's not even half a mile, but
nothing. Literally, a Glen Road I lived, so it was just, you know, it's crazy. I grew up.
You could not be interested in it with all that going on. And we were kids growing up anyway, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone that is brought up around motorbikes or
sport or motorsport
or whatever. Like makes a beeline for Aberdare. Like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I used to bunk off school the last week just to stick straw bales up on trees. I loved it. My dad was like, well, as long as he's doing something productive.
Yeah,
and,
exactly that.
You know, I loved it.
You went to school?
Believe it or not, yeah, I think I did.
Do you know I only found out 2 years ago why they put the straw bales out? The real reason.
Yeah.
Protect the trees.
Yeah.
No, and I'm always saying, like, what is that going to do for a ride?
Hey, they're old, you know, they got to be able to look
I
after them,
genuinely
you know.
didn't know. All these years I've been doing it, all the years I've been there.
Yeah.
Protect the trees.
I mean, I think you'd rather like hit a bale than a tree.
I don't know. I don't know. I've hit both, and they both suck.
It's not going to be fun either way, is it? Really?
I hit a sapling and broke my collarbone. Like, do you mean the sapling didn't move? I aimed for that on purpose. It was like, oh, do I pick the big one or do I pick the little one? I'll go for the little one. It's, you know, it'll snap. Nah, my collarbone snapped.
But as long as the trees are all right, lads,
Yeah.
you know, that's what we're really on about, you know.
It's really not for the faint-hearted from there, but
Oh no, it's crazy.
it really isn't. Like.
Yeah.
But I think because of my enduro background, look, you know, I'm used to, the speeds are nowhere near the same, right?
Yeah.
But the concept of riding in amongst trees, you know,
Yes, second nature almost, isn't it, really?
absolutely, yeah. So they're not really there.
And
If you start thinking about it, you won't do it.
no, and it keeps your mind sharp as well. You know, I mean, you've got to be pinpoint accurate around the park.
Yeah.
You know, there are different lines round different
Yeah.
corners, but if you're not on one of those two lines,
Yeah.
it can get messy real quick.
Yeah, and I think a lot of newcomers...
lap after lap after lap. Like when you're doing like 15 lappers,
Yeah.
that's when your mind's
Yeah.
got to be at its
Yeah,
sharpest.
yeah.
Because, you know,
And I think a lot of newcomers take for granted as well. They think they look at the
it's easy.
it's,
you
it's
know,
only
I
just
watch
under a
on-
mile,
yeah,
but then they're like, okay, you know, those trees are closer than you think, like, you know. And it's,
So I got
you
a
know,
mate, right? When I started racing with North Gloucester, Wayne Axon Sideman, so I met some cracking people, and they've...
Oh, shout out to Wayne as well.
Absolutely.
He's I hope he's on the mend as well.
Yeah,
So,
I've been to see him a few times recently, yeah.
on the mend, looking
Yeah,
okay?
oh no, a lot better.
Good,
It really is, yeah. It's mint. I do want to see him again now in the next week or so.
Yeah, get well soon, Wayne.
Yeah, chill, man. So, yeah, they had this little gang, so they were all mini twins. And they called themselves Southwest Mini Twins, SWMT. And they let me in the gang, right? And it was class, but they were all racing mini twins. I was on a 400 on the first year, but then I went with them on the mini twins. And it was close racing all day, bashing bars, and then they flattered on the piss.
Yeah.
Rough cider, you know, they're all from down there, aren't they?
They know when to get their hands on
Anyway,
it.
so there's this guy now, right? I won't tell his name, but it's the Devon Ace, right? And he was a bit of a boy. He knew how to, he was elbows out, you know what I mean? He really was. And he was a front runner.
Yeah.
Right? If something went wrong with the bike and he ended up at the back of the grid, he used to go and tell him, you don't want to put me at the back of the grid, you know what's going to happen. You know, he'd take no prisoners coming through. He was just one of them, you know, hard rider, like. And he turned up at Aberdare Park and we went out and practice. Came back in, he had because I don't think you needed bibs back then.
No.
You didn't need orange bibs.
No.
He had an orange bib on. I was like, I can what's the matter with you, bud? He said, oh, mate, he said, I can't handle this. I said, what's the matter? Laughing at it. He said, it's intense. He said, and it all coming round me, under me and everything. I said, right, whoa, no, let's have a chat about it. So we had a little talk about a lap to me, and I said, look, from the S-bends, I said, cambers, because this is what you don't realise as well. It's technical, but there's a lot of off cambers.
Yeah, we've said it a lot.
You know,
yeah.
you've got to...
And you don't see it on the onboards. If you do your research,
No,
it,
everything's flat. You don't see it in
absolutely,
inclines, it's all flat,
Yeah.
isn't it? So I had a little chat with him and I said, look, I'll tap on the back of me now. And, right, because that's what I said to him, the bush. Come around with the bandstand. I said, the bush. But be careful when you go with the bush, because the e-bale, I said, you've got to stay on top of the brow because it feels nice. On top of the brow, just in is nice. But then just into the bush, watch the e-bale on your other side. Right, okay. And then just, I said, follow me. We had a chat, I had a chat with the circuit anyway, out we fucking goes down, right? Apparently, he's come round, gone into the bush too tight, hit the e-bale, straw everywhere, right?
Exploded it, like, yeah.
Done a Chris North over.
He done a Chris
on the
over,
way,
yeah. No, but he also done a Stig, right? Because he rode round, didn't get off his bike, didn't take his helmet off, opened the back doors of the van, pushed him into the back of the van, got in the van with his helmet on, and shut the back.
with his helmet on, driving back with his helmet on, like this.
He was like this thing, guy. Nah, didn't do it, pulled out. Bad. And put him on a short circuit, look, and he'll battle anyone.
It lumps
Yeah,
over everyone
yeah.
and do anything, but just...
Well, you take a lot of the
Couldn't handle
newcomers round every year, and it's interesting, like, because I see it from a different perspective. And you can see a bit of fear in people's eyes, like
Yeah.
I didn't realise how close everything was,
Yeah,
and I
it's
the
narrow.
run-offs and
It's not to be messed with, like.
Sean Wynn started walking the track, and when the boy, he turned around, says one of the boys, he said, so which way's the track? And he thought he was on the footpath. He's no, but this is the
Yeah,
fucking
you're on the track.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people said, Chris Novo said, he was just like, where is it? You're on it, mate.
Yeah.
But
Park,
but the thing is, we grew up with it, so we kind of expect that we know what the track looks like.
Well,
If anyone,
point.
somebody else coming in, you're like, what the?
Well, it's exactly the same mentality as it is in Northern and Southern Ireland. They got these class road races, and when we go over, we go, this is absolutely fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
This should be illegal.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same thing for the short circuit boys that come to us first, like, because we're always the first sort of road race that anyone ever, dips their toe into. So yeah, it is completely fucking mad.
It is crazy, like, but
Question: how the fuck do you stop? Because I don't know. Listen, right? I've never done heroin, right? But we all know how addictive that is. I generally think that this road race is more addictive again.
Well, look.
They always say motorbikes is worse than drugs because you can talk to Frank about drugs.
That's right, don't it? No, do you know what I mean?
You know, we've got this now. Thank
You got to
God,
talk to your bank manager.
Yeah, we are.
But
poor kids, innit?
But
look how many people who stay on the race. Like John McGuinness, for example. You know, he's still.
Yeah, but he should still be there.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I genuinely, honestly.
he deserves it. He's top.
100%.
He's still top 5 now.
Yeah.
He's getting
Come
a
on.
what, 1 free freeze now.
That's
Still.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
That's 25 years of TT racing, right?
Yeah.
And he's still top 5 now.
And he got a podium in the Northwest last year as well.
I was, mint.
Mint. You know, people who do criticise it as keyboard warriors.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Just look at the his lap times now are faster when they made a big fuss about getting the 130, and rightly so for the first time.
Yeah.
But he's topping that now.
As the saying goes, really. those who achieve nothing do nothing. Those who do nothing achieve nothing, become nothing. And that's keyboard warriors for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, shit.
Put your money where your mouth is.
He actually rode my bike around the park.
Oh, right.
When he
came
the
down.
parade lap. He did the CBR 6 at the time.
He's top lad, John.
Mint.
Yeah.
He didn't offer me money for petrol, mate.
John has an invoice come in, mate.
And he did give me a couple of tips. He said, suspension's too soft, but...
All right, cheers.
Mint, fuck him.
Cheers, John,
Yeah.
But
he is a nice guy, man.
No, he's says a lot of good stuff about like ourselves in Scarborough. You know, we saw him at Motorcycle Live. Had time to come over and that's kind of the road racing community, isn't it? Really, everyone's there to sort of.
It really is. Yeah.
We're all working men and women, and we're all there for a good time. Like
we all want the same thing. We want it to succeed. We want it to progress, and be as affordable for everyone as possible. Like
just have a laugh, innit?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's what motorbiking's about.
Yeah.
You know, the stories you've been telling on, like, that's exactly what motorbiking and life should be about.
Absolutely.
Have a fucking laugh.
They reckon normal people turn around and say, you're not wired up right. You know, and it's like, well...
You're more alive than anyone else.
It's like, my concept of racing is, we're all adrenaline junkies. We love bikes, we love racing. And like, once a month, they leave us all meet in a field, camp together, talk our own unique language, right?
Yeah.
And let off a bit of steam and get some adrenaline going, And then to think to myself, it's you lot that are not wired up right for not wanting to do it.
And I don't think it'd ever start now. If somebody wanted to start what it is we do, it ain't going to happen now, is it? I mean, can you imagine?
No, the way the bonkers world is.
Exactly, yeah. It's a continuous battle to make sure these things are going.
But anyway, we're getting off track.
We are.
Go on.
Yeah.
So I want to know about that Manx Grand Prix.
Manx
win.
Grand Prix.
But first time there, first time you
newcomer. Manx
I
Grand
pour
Prix.
my own work. I put my effort in, mind. It consumed my life. It really did. So, like I said around 3 years. First year was a little bit of on board. It was 2 years of serious shit. It consumed my life. I bought a car over there. I done 76 laps in the car.
Wow.
Before I actually got on the bike. It takes an hour to drive it.
Yeah.
So put that into context. You know, it was one of the Irish boys said to me, he said, "You going to do the Manx, you know?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "That's going to cost you 25 grand. I was like, "No, it's not. I've worked it out, man." He said, "Please, 450 quid, tyres for you." He said, "No, shut your head." He said, "You going over there doing laps?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "I'm costed all that, Benavoo." And he's right, like, you know, I was flying
in travel,
absolutely,
in fuel for the car.
Yeah.
So how often were you going out there? Was it
regular.
every month, would you say?
So
or?
Wayne Axon introduced me to a guy called Tommy. He's from Ramsey, right? Freaking brilliant. So he goes over there. I'd done my lap with Wayne. Takes me over to Ramsey Rugby Club. Now they've just had a game. They're all on the piss, they're steaming, right? Room full of rugby boys now, innit? You know, all bent noses. And so there's Tom, you know, he's a diamond, right? But a rough looking sort of geezer, you know, he played like 40 years of rugby, like. And Michael, Wayne's mate. Yeah, Tommy, pleased to meet you. Thank you. How's it going, Tom, right? Says, newcomers? Yeah. Every time you come to this island to do laps, you were staying in my house. I was like, fucking hell. Thank you very much. That's exactly how it was. Do you know what, bud? True to his word, every time I've gone over there, there's been a bed for me.
Brilliant.
Honestly, they're so passionate about over there. They love it. You know, as we are about Aberdare, you know, only look at the heritage of the man as well.
Absolutely.
You know, they love, and we've turned into good friends. Tommy's been brilliant. Tommy actually spanned for me. He's part of the story. He is part of the story. So what happened? Yeah, laps. 76 laps in the car. So I started off onboards. Do you know what it cost me a relationship? No, I'm thinking about it. Fucking did that.
If you want to go into it,
I was actually cheating, see? Only I was with Milky Quail. I was going to bed with Milky Quail every night. Oh, genuine, that's what, yeah. Fucking mad, and it did. I said, I love Milky Quail, he's fucking class.
I love him, thank you. I'm sorry,
No, he's keeping me safe. Like.
There you go. Yeah.
He can't do things that you can do. He is incredible.
His enthusiasm's immense, isn't it?
I watched him on motorcycle live a couple of years back and just...
Yeah. Oh, he knows his shit.
He's brilliant.
He knows his shit.
He's really good.
And he's probably inadvertently saved a lot of lives as well with what he's been doing out there.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so I'm quite anal. I forgot about this bit. I actually typed the course up. I did, I put it on an Excel spreadsheet. Oh, my God.
Oh, I love this.
I did, So, I downloaded... It's the circuit, but it's like a typed up version of it.
Right.
And then I took the key corners, and then basics, left, right. Then I looked at cambers, so the execution went on.
Wow.
Positive camber, negative camber, manuals.
You went in that much detail?
Yeah. Yeah, I really did, yeah. And I split it into 5-minute sections. So first 5 minutes, because 20 minutes you just get lost.
Yeah, you can't consume it all.
No, it's massive, you know, there's a lot of info in it. So I broke it down into 5-minute sections, yeah. Broke it down in 5 minutes, typed it up, learned it, come up with a bit of a rhyme as well. I'll tell you, what was it, Quarter Bridge, Brandon Bridge, something jump. And I just keep saying that to myself,
wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's smart.
Yeah.
Well, it clearly worked, as we're going to find out.
Well, yeah.
But so you went, like, you've done all this research. How confident were you going in? Maybe not so much for a result point of view, or were you looking for a win?
Look, don't you?
Yeah, it's just the competitive nature.
Of course it is.
But did you think that, like, you'd be...
You just don't know, do you?
Yeah.
That's the thing, you just don't...
Well, you surrounded yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
You were on the right bike.
Yeah, 100%.
You've done your homework.
Yeah.
So,
plenty of homework, by the looks of it, yeah.
You know,
I really did, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, the laps in the car changed as well, because I started doing day shifts. That's when it started. But then once I knew the course then, people were saying to me, like, oh, you know, Joey can drive around in a van with no lights on. I was like, I don't know about that, but he might be done it with dip headlights on.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing then, because Milky'd always tell you, what's coming next, what's coming next, what's coming next, you know? And that's what it was, and I was just literally, Isle of Man, in the dark,
Yeah.
11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. It was fucking mint.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and you can see what's coming towards you.
Yeah. That a Hyundai Gitz had a kick in, but it was flat out. That's what we had over there. A Hyundai Gitz. And yeah, dipped the headlights then, last going off, and that's when I knew I had a nail then.
Yeah.
You know, I knew where I was going then. But not right, so I moved on from there then. Fucking hell. On board then of particular riders, gear changes. Where they were, braking markers.
So were you, like, what was your lap time in your head then going into it? You know, were you on for 110? Were you on for 100 mile an hour? Well,
I think the lap record, I think, was it 110, 112, I think it was, something like that. So I did have on the back of my mind, obviously.
Yeah.
Because we're a racer, I mean.
What I'm saying is, were you watching onboards of people doing
it's quite limited, see?
that sort of lap time?
Yeah, it's quite limited on a twin, look.
Yeah.
It's quite limited on a twin. I tell you who I really analysed towards it was only the last couple of years, they put Jimmy Coward on the TT app.
Right,
They
yes,
done a
I've seen
full
that,
lap of him on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit easier to sort of follow along then, isn't it?
Well, I'm a twin man anyway, see.
Yeah.
600s, I've only jumped on a 600 because I kind of needed to get an extra lap.
track time.
I just love the twins,
Yeah.
if I'm honest, you know.
So, practice then, your first time you're actually stepping out on the Glencrutchy roads. I mean, after all that work and sacrifice,
Time, effort.
and you know, and the affair with Milky Quail and everything, that's that's done.
Yeah.
You're going down and St. Ninian's Crossroads.
Colin
How's
Croft.
How's that?
Colin Croft was taking us out. First time I ever met Colin Croft as a newcomer. He walked up to me, started necking me. Mental, legend. Fucking head kids. Proper header. Real good laugh. So we went out with him on my first lap as well. So it didn't really, you know, I think that sort of put me at ease with it all then, you know.
Yeah, I bet
Just comfortable because we know him, he's sound and he knows his way.
You're going to naturally be on edge a little bit, obviously. Of course.
That's why you go in, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's the
that's why we do what we do.
It's the
If it wasn't that, then...
Yeah.
And it was all a build-up then. It was all a build-up. Every lap, he was just that little bit more. Flat out the bottom of Braille. Fucking hell.
How was that? I've seen it at the bottom, and it is mental.
I'm fucking Mikey Rees.
It takes a long time to do that, but
I can imagine.
it's just instinct. Your natural instinct says you can fuck right off.
Flat? What?
Yeah.
Yep.
It makes you think how like lads do it on like super bikes. Like, it's just unbelievable.
Full
isn't it?
respect.
Oh, unbelievable.
Mental.
But yeah, I mean, how was that? Like, you know, you're going through these corners, like you've been looking at on onboards for so long, and then you're thinking, oh, I'm actually fucking doing it. I'm doing it now.
Fuck, I can't press pause. It's like,
What was the rhyme? Jump!
It was, the whole thing was all mad, wasn't it? You know, I don't think, Ian Sinclair, Alex's old man, he still takes a piss out of me now. He said, back in scooter, he was done some miles coming down, borrowing some stuff off me. But he was right, like.
Yeah.
You know, it's just total lack of knowledge, isn't it? You know, it's...
Yeah, first time there, you don't...
First time there, me and John.
You try to prepare, you try to take as much spares as you can, and then realise...
But you don't know what to...
Yeah, you don't know what to take.
What, like,
yeah. How many screens do you take? Do you take rad guards? Is spare body work? How many tyres? How many wheels? Brake pads? Chains?
And it's a long time out there as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Back then it was 2.5 weeks. Which I think is right. I think it needs to go back to that. Like.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
But to give everyone that
yeah, we was getting the track time and we really was, I had a breakdown. Me and John changed an engine. Forgot to connect one of the wires which is involved in the charging of the battery.
Oh, so she just run flat.
Total loss, innit?
Yeah.
Where did you break down?
Mountain.
Oh,
Top
great.
of the mountain. Bonkers.
And do you have a cell phone on you, man? Do you have a mobile phone on you?
I carried a phone on me.
Yeah.
Just to let everybody know it's all cool, innit?
Yeah.
But but you won't believe this. So hut mountain top on a shore, pulls in there. So the old radio's in now, innit? What's the matter? I was like thinking about, the problem. Spoke to John, and then back it dawned on me what happened. dead battery in it. So, we knew the battery was dead anyway, but what caused it?
Yeah.
You know, so we worked that out over the phone, sorted that bit. The marshals, God bless them. Right, what we're going to do is, right, they're on a generator now, right, to power the CB radio, right? We're going to take the wire off the CB radio, strip it,
Charge about
connect. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
It's like fair play off.
Yeah.
You were going to get so much shit for that. I'd be right, we get you going, man.
I just want to see you back out and go in, like.
Fair play to him, right?
Yeah.
Proper DIY out here.
Like, as it was, right, I put my foot down and I said, you can't, Christ, Gary Thompson would have kittens with us, wouldn't he, if he found out we'd done that, right? So the guy had a gold ring and he had a hands-free kit on it. And we stripped the hands-free kit off the gold ring.
And charge off that.
Ripped it all up, charged it.
Brilliant.
Honestly, yeah. Got it back running and I got back down and I didn't miss any track time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's class. That is class.
And I actually learned quite a bit as well because I stood there and watched McGuinness coming through and I thought, that's the lines. And that's the other thing though, the stories, isn't it? The crack, the things that goes on.
Everything we do is for a story.
It's always something.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had quite a few over the year we've been doing this. But before we go to the race, favourite sort of section and favourite corner? That's a hard one, I know.
Oh my God. I just love the mountain. I just love the mountain, but all of it. I tell you why as well. So another Manxman, guy called Skilly. Skilly was, you know the purple helmets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of them. So he actually keeps the car for me. So my car's always parked and Skilly got a field outside of Marcus' house. He looks after the car for me. Legends, man.
Yeah,
They're brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah.
And he had an MT10 and he lent me, so I went over TT in 18 with the view of doing laps, look, and they were all on to me. This is how naive I was, right? They said to me, you need to borrow a bike, you need to be doing laps. Like I said, well, I'm all right in the car, man. He said, no, yeah, but you can race the mountain. Like, what do you mean? He said it was one way. You know, didn't have a clue. Yeah. Didn't have a clue. And a couple of phone calls. Next thing, I got this brand new MT10, right? With the proviso, right, so that I look after it. Oh, I've been had a rag in. Honestly, they are so much fun. Honestly, I'd run on a petrol. So I was getting up at 4 in the morning to get out, to get on the roads,
Have a clear
to
run,
get the laps in, to get the clear run, right? And they I don't know, I think like 20 litre tanks, I think they're meant to tell you.
Oh,
They're
alcoholics.
They are proper alcoholics. Yeah. So I'm like 5 o'clock in the morning, halfway through a lap, broke down just after Kirkmichael. Turned around, pushed it back in. Pushed it back to the petrol station, sat there like, I'll wait for it to open the fucking felt the right twat. No, but genuinely, after the TT, I had that mountain nailed.
Yeah.
Because I was going over there, I knew quicker than what I would be on the twin then, if that makes sense on this thing.
Yeah, you knew I was coming towards you faster than what you were on the twin.
Exactly that.
So you could
it
deal
was
with
mint. I had the lines sorted anyway. It's just I had half of that circuit nailed before I got on the start line in 3D then because of Skilly lending me that MT10.
Yeah.
And
it was
it's bad as some, like you hear some newcomers to Manx or TT, like they still can't get them out in nailed today. Yeah. But then they love going through like Greba Castle and all that, going for there, or like last section down to the Cronk, whatever. It's strange, isn't it? How people are different, isn't it? Like,
it is, yeah.
But it's
Corrie Benz I like because I find Corrie Benz challenging. It's just that
because you've got a nail at to get on the
screaming at
Sylvie,
yourself, don't shut off, and I'm literally shouting to myself in my helmet, don't shut off, don't shut off, don't shut. And it's just when you come round, it's like
yeah. I loved. I've said in the other podcast we've done, but Hilbury. From a spectator's point of view, unbelievable. You know, just I can put my eyebrow out because how big it is, and it's just gonna get shaved off, like just like that. Unbelievable. So much respect to anyone who takes that on. But so coming to the newcomers race then.
Yeah.
Waiting 3 years pretty much for this more one. Like, how was that when you get the pat on the shoulder, off you go? What was in your mind at that time, like? And did you think you were going to be up there?
No. Yeah. Do you think it was on, or do you think?
We had a gauge to me of
from the qualifying
qualifying stuff. Yeah. So I knew I was in for a bit of a bit of a chance, like I really I did. Yeah, and I was up for it and all that.
Yeah, well, I'm most of South Wales.
Yeah,
were egging
all
you
on the shoulder, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
James Hind.
Yeah, you had a
Oh,
good
some boy like.
He's
some boy like.
He just.
Yep.
very good, isn't he?
Aye, real nice guy.
Yeah.
Real nice guy. Yeah, they reckon I was the closest newcomers they've had for years. You know, we was proper.
And how many laps was a lightweight race?
Four.
It was four laps.
4 laps.
He was on a TZ, wasn't he? And you were on ER6.
Yeah.
How was that? Could you talk us through the race and how it went?
Pit boards. I tell you what, I had a little bit of luck. Dan Cooper, the legend that is. He was on. Was it the year that he knocked it on the head? I think, wasn't it? He went into. Why was he there?
He was on a 250, wasn't he?
I'm not sure, but if that was when he actually pulled the pin.
Or 2018? It could have been.
Yeah, because
it was just before COVID.
He ended up with a bit of time on his hands. So I was coming back with my onboard look, and he was sitting down and going through the onboard with me. And fair play to him. He'd never tell me what to do, but he was like, look, have a little think about trying to get a bit more through there. Basically saying you go too fucking slow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but he didn't say
in
that.
the nicest way possible.
Yeah, no. Just have a think. Oh, look, roads and circuits, yes, you can have a conversation and try and tell somebody what to do through a particular corner on a circuit, but roads, you can't tell anybody what or when to do it. You can't, like, it's, you know.
Not a place like that.
No,
it's got to be instinctive.
You got to leave them on their own and do. You got to find. Each individual's got to find his own way.
Yeah, you learn at your own speed, and you know.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, but I was fortunate enough. Dan was brilliant. I had him sort of going through the onboards with me, and we had I can remember it. We had a full-on debate about having a pit board, and he didn't want me to have one. Look.
Right, okay.
You know, he didn't. No, he said you don't want to be thinking about times. You just want to be. And I said to him, right. Let's just hypothetically say now that I'm in front and I got like a 20-second lead. Wouldn't that be amazing? But I'm still pushing. Oh, no, I'm not pushing actually. I'm only having a ride round. Sorry, I forgot to say that.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're doing. That's what I told everybody. We're going to have a ride round.
Yeah.
So, but no, we had a board and 1 plus nothing. You know, 2 minus nothing. It was.
It was painful. Like
it was all of that.
Where was it?
On Glencrutchy Road on the pits. But yeah.
Just one pit board, just there. Like.
I'm trying to think now. You know, it's been so many years.
Got one on the goose.
I found people have done pit boards for me that I don't even know.
No,
yeah.
You know, but they really do. Yeah.
Well, it's because
and I haven't got a clue.
They're rooting for you.
Yeah. And you know, they really make an effort. It's like,
That's brilliant. It's brilliant today. Yeah.
Thumbs up for the next one, isn't it?
Yeah,
it was mint. The pit stops. I knew how important the pit stops are. I really did.
Especially if it's going to be a couple of
tenths
here and there, seconds here and there.
If the boys are not on the ball in the pit stops, then it's helping, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, 5 seconds, but there's a lot, you know, to try and get 5 back out there, isn't it? So we did quite a bit of practice. There was a lot talked about with the pit stops. And Tommy, my rugby buddy, he was in charge of taking the cap off and cleaning the screen. So in front of the tank, like, no, it's not there now. We cut a bit of foam. Yeah. So literally, that's all it is twist it up to there, right? And there it is. Clean the screen. No, he said I want to hold it in my hand, and I was like, fucking hell. Okay, but you've only got to. It's only there. You know what I mean? No, it's in my hand. It's safe, and I know that it's.
Well,
and I couldn't argue with him. You know,
there is that thing that if it's put in there and something happens, someone bangs into the bike or whatever, that's in the belly pan.
Right, or there's the thing then, if he's holding his hand, he drops in, it goes in the belly pan.
So
there's no right or wrong either way,
I think that's individual in regards to, like, I need control of this, so I know to make it.
My logic was, that's all you've got to do is bad, but his logic was he needed control of it. And fine, you know, we went with that, and we come in on the pits, and I'm like, oh mate, you done half slip some fucking water.
I tell
you, honestly, he's a squirt. And honestly,
it's like 4 kilos, isn't it?
is it?
Something stupid.
Probably,
They did it with
Long
Fark.
time,
They did it
like-
with Fark with the TT, the one, and like throughout the week it was like 27 kilos of water that you lose.
And if the
Like-
weather's good, man.
Like
What was the weather like?
just
Actually,
in,
was
just in
yeah. What was the weather like?
No, it was mint, it was mint.
Yeah. Well, that helps as well.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
So, Captain go back on properly, did it?
If it can't go wrong, it will go wrong. Go
It
on.
fucking did go wrong. It fucking proper went wrong. So I've had all my slurps, the gun's out, everything's all done, and he's fucking about to the cap. And I'm looking at John, as if to go, John, fucking hell, what? And I seen what was wrong. It had like turned, you know? So I shoved him out the way, grabbed it, twisted it, and fucking punched the thing close, right? And in all honesty, he done me a massive favour. He really did, because I went down that fucking hill after
Like
that.
a red rag to a bull.
And I was,
Thinking you've lost these seconds.
Yeah.
You need to
I
get 'em
was
back,
gritted my teeth, and let me tell you now, I held a fucking pin through the bottom of the hill.
yeah. And let's see what happens. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So last lap then, I mean, like obviously you got the one pit board.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you start your last lap, are you ahead? Are you behind?
No, I
James,
was
or-
ahead, don't I? Can't really remember. Did I beat him by quite a bit in the end, I think, didn't I?
Well, he started slowing, didn't he? I think the TZ had cried enough. Like
very round there, it's gonna
It
get
was
it.
quite a bit in the end, I think, wasn't it?
yeah.
20 odd seconds.
It was it was, you know, your Kawasaki versus that TZ,
versus
and I think that TZ just got a bit on, trying to keep up with your pace after.
Yeah.
Well, what are you
smashing
thinking then?
World Cup.
That last lap, what are you thinking?
Oh,
Are you thinking
I
shit,
was
like what?
fucking...
Like
Tears.
No, the brain was left in the fucking in the pits. I punched that cap down and gritted my teeth and fucking went at it, but I think it was, you know, everything just got enhanced then, didn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell,
Yeah.
come on, you know, fuck, and then it's bam, apex, fucking
Just got in the zone, like.
proper. Yeah.
There's not many times like
Because you've got to, man.
there's not many times racing bikes where you do actually get in that zone, but that sounds like
Yeah.
it felt like slow motion,
You got it, but
Because-
you got it.
you know.
Yeah. And
put your
all
mind to
them,
it
you know,
and you wanted it.
all them bits that you do get a bit, you know, you have that bit of a good roll through. Them rolls get less, like, they do get less.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it?
so when you cross the line then and you've realised first time out you've won a Manx Grand Prix, which is fucking nuts, isn't it? Really, like
It's class.
it's just unbelievable.
Like who was the last Manx Grand Prix, Welsh Manx Grand Prix winner before you?
I don't know, well,
Lacquer?
probably, innit?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Unbelievable, mate.
Can't imagine, isn't it? But
But still, it's,
Oh, you've won a Manx, but
exactly.
I've not won a Manx.
Not
You
really.
won a
yeah,
You
fair
won a
one,
Manx.
fair one.
What was that like when you know you're going through the like a winners enclosure like and thinking like what the
Well, in the beginning, I wasn't sure.
yeah.
You know, you don't deal. You
No,
just,
no.
Yeah, you just riding up the road.
And then they point you, and I'm like, where? Where'd you go? And then when the boys come over, fucking running over there, you fucking won it. I was like, oh, mint.
But we were, me, my old man and Mick Smith, we were in Oschersleben, Germany, right, for European Supermoto that weekend. And driving over, the van blew up 3 miles out from the circuit, caught fire. So we were stuck there. It was bank holiday weekend. So I think this was on the Tuesday,
Right.
when you won the Manx.
Yeah.
And we sat there now. We'd done pretty well in the European Championship. So we'd had a bit of a jolly, you know, on the piss Monday, great. Couldn't get an alternator for the van until Wednesday. So I'm sat there. So I'm sat there now, right? I've tried to freight the alternator over from GMF in Merthyr. They've, like, DHL have lost that. So I've had to go and buy another one now from a German Ford dealership. So we just sat there waiting. I'm like, have you ever been to a race circuit and there's no racing on? There's nothing going on.
No, I can't say I have.
It is hell, right? It's hell. But we're sat there, it's bright sunshine, we're just literally just drinking cans of Guinness now, just to get rid of it, just to pass the time. But the Manx, like, oh, Mikey's on the Manx, let's have a listen to this. Do you know what? we were fucking jumping up and down and fucking screaming and egging you on right in the middle of Germany. With all these Germans looking at us like what, these fucking Brits are fucking mental. And honestly, we were egging you on from all the way over there, but when it happened, we were so fucking happy. Like, I think there might be a video on my J. Bellasmith Racing page of me and Mick in the night drinking fucking wine, still celebrating, just flat out on the piss, just so happy for you.
Oh, mate.
I can't imagine
Like,
what
I
that would
can't-
have been like, mate.
Like our party was good. I can't imagine what your party was
mental.
like.
Yeah, what was that like?
Mental. And they had me the next morning to go on Manx radio. I had to be here for something like that next morning. Yeah, proper job. Steaming.
Wired up like that.
The adrenaline on its own, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Like,
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's led to you still chasing it to this day.
Yeah,
you know,
that
was the first victory then.
Yeah.
First major victory at a road race or whatever. And, you know, you've carried it on.
Yeah.
Like, what? How long have you been road racing now?
Well,
10
I
years?
was... No. Good God. I think... No, this is my 9th year, I think, when I first jumped on F100.
Yeah.
Do you mean? That's a massive achievement.
Yeah.
Like, and to be
I
honest,
went all in.
with
I could tell there.
with them not having a newcomers Manx now as well, you're in the history books.
Yeah, fair point there.
You know, it's a massive achievement, and it's a massive achievement for you. It's a massive achievement for Wales. It's a massive achievement for all the boys in the valleys.
For
do you know?
Wales, I had the Welsh motorsport personality of the year.
Yeah. And well deserved.
Yeah,
like.
absolutely.
You,
Yeah, this is
you
like
put
that
you put the time and effort, and unfortunately the money into it. But hey, look at this story you're telling me. That is worth way more than pounds and pence.
Well, yeah, and look,
You know what I mean?
and look what
And
you got there.
And
you
look
know,
at all them
it's-
women. Like, look at all them.
Like
It's all for a single lady, innit?
Yeah.
like unbelievable, right? And you've gone back pretty much every year since.
Yeah.
Like, to the Manx.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Only ones I didn't because of COVID.
yeah. And, well, you would sort of venture into the Northwest then, was your sort of first time?
That was 19 straight after it.
How do you find that? Because obviously another international event, massive track, and like, you know, but then you're racing then. Like,
The Isle of Man is me because of the enduro back in the day, look.
On your own.
yeah, it is.
On my
decent.
own.
Yeah.
Yeah, setting your own pace.
Yeah, usually a painful pace because well, it's a race at the end of the day. It's an
Yeah, of course
enduro.
it
It's
is.
an
Yeah,
endurance
it
event.
is.
It's brutal, man.
Yeah.
You know, fucking hell, I'd see me pissing on my hands because of the blisters to try and heal them to ride the next day. You know.
Yeah.
And enduro one for the faint-hearted, like
they're
brutal.
not,
No, but you're absolutely right. Your own head, see.
Yeah.
You know, you just bam, 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 and looking at your time, looking at your watch. You know, focusing on it. It's like a time trial, and it's exactly what the Manx is.
Yeah. And then you line up against 40 others at the Northwest.
Yeah.
And it's just mental.
Completely mental.
Yep.
Completely
And
mental.
what are you riding around? Are you still riding the 400? Are you riding something else then, or the twin, or
What now?
at the Northwest?
The Northwest, I did. The first time I done it, I just went out with the Farquhar twin,
Yeah.
the KMR. I'm sure 8th or 9th, I think I had. I was over the moon.
Yeah.
I was
Absolutely.
absolutely
Yeah,
ecstatic.
That's a good result.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went back. I missed it for a few years then, and I went back last year. And it was all going so well.
Yeah.
Till it didn't.
Well, you were
No, it's mid- no,
you
but-
were 5th or 6th,
I
weren't
got
you?
up to
You were up
4th
there.
for the first 8 pit.
Yeah, on the pattern.
Yeah.
Lovely little thing.
Oh, stunning.
It is.
They are stunning. Like.
So what what happened at the Northwest?
It was all going so well.
Yeah.
Till it did right. I was 14th, I qualified. And I was over to the left, and Rutter was in front of me.
On the R7.
Yeah. And we went
Good
off.
company. Good company to be
We went off,
Yeah.
right? And I had a blinding start, and I'd gone to go up the inside of him like that, and is the left kinking it, and I was like, Michael Rutter, no, the fucking door's gonna go whap now.
Yeah.
And he swiped. Yeah. So I just had a little roll. He's come past, and as soon as he come past me, I just went, whap. Well, they've all turned left now, and then there's a sweeper right. And they've all had to go wide because they're going quicker. But I got on the gas earlier, don't you? and my line is completely different to him. I went from 14th to 3rd with the first hairpin. It was like the red carpet was put out. I just went straight past them all, fucking mint. Onto the brakes, I'll slot in by you, sir, thank you very much.
I remember this line the next time. Like, yeah, why has anyone else thought of this?
It was mint.
Yeah.
Down the back, roundabout, down the end, what's down the back end of there?
Station.
Right. Suspension on the part, that's my own fault, it was too soft. Overshot a little bit, give it a little bit of a wibble, drop back to 5th. Held that, lovely. Couple of laps in, and then overshot another hairpin, and that's when it all started going. Venter, AJ,
My teammate.
what a guy, but an absolute legend of a man.
Yep.
We had some real good fun in the qualified lead. We were a similar pace, look. And, you know, fair play to him. He got a red flag, we put on, listen, he said, your entry is, he said, I can't catch you on your entry on a break. He said, your mid-corner speed just needs to be a bit quicker to get out of it. I was like, you know, what a guy, like.
Competitor, like, and he's giving you advice. Yeah. Class, isn't it?
Yeah, brilliant. And when else would you get that?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Class, he's a real nice guy. And we had a lot of fun we did in the qualifying. So then he turned up on the race end, didn't he? And then there was somebody behind him, so we were doing a little bit of this, which is fine. Then he sort of got away from me a little bit, and it all started. And this other guy, I don't know who it was, but then he passed me, I passed him, he passed me. And that's when all the carnage starts, doesn't it? Yeah. They stuck it up the inside of me, coming Black Hill.
Yep.
I had a lovely line through Black Hill, like followed Cooper through that. Early on in qualifying, I was like, oh, mint.
That's a good guy to follow as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was lovely. I just caught this peeling in
He
point.
passed me on the weekend, and honestly, it's smooth as silk. Like, and I was so fast, this man.
He's in your class.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, but...
You know, through the left, the right's completely blind, and it is literally, you're just waiting, whap, throw it in. But look, it's a road race, right? Where's the middle of the road? The fucking white line, isn't it? Yeah. Simple, isn't it? Really, when you think about it, like, and that's what it was. I caught his peeling in point, his marker in, and it was a lovely line. And this guy just stuffed it up inside of me.
Stopped it.
Didn't have nowhere to go, but I was full drive coming in, you know,
and
going in, ready for the flip-flop.
Yeah.
Because it's uphill, and it's uphill, it goes off camber, and it tightens. So if someone's diving up the inside, they're overshooting anyway. And you've got nowhere to go. Like.
Yeah. Straight into the back of him. Straight into the back. Well, I had, I'd give it a fucking handful. Back end lifted slightly, started a twist on me, and I was just like, oh.
Let's go. You can feel it going, yeah.
Whap! Hit him straight over the front, flying through the air. I could see him wiggle. Off he went into the sunset. I was like, twat, and then hit the floor, and it was just like,
carnage.
Oh, I'd done some tumbling.
Yeah. Well, what was the injury list on that one? 6
broken ribs, bruised lung, and 2 fingers, which I don't know which ones they were, because they never hurt, right? And they never told me which ones they were. But it was,
so who knows?
No, it was the least of my worries, you know, but I think.
No, the 2 fingers is when you get me back party.
Oh, man, I had a whack. I was man-flued and all.
No.
I was man-flued. So, and when it hit me butt, right, I had 2 snot trails come fucking straight.
Cleaned you out.
Also when the paramedics come, at least look presentable, like, you know.
It was a good one.
Yeah. Was that the first big injury you've had, like?
That was
on roads as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God, definitely.
I'm
on first name terms with anaesthetist on boot. Right? I was walking through Cardiff one day. She's like, Michael, my favourite patient. How are you? I was like, this is bad, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
not good, is it?
No.
But that's motorbike racing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You know? Yeah, no, that was a full week in Coleraine Hospital, that was.
Yeah.
But like, all through your career, like, you know, we all... I don't know if the other Welsh boys do it, but I like to keep tabs and check on everyone, make sure everyone's doing all right, or you know, or whatever. Yeah. And I can't remember you ever dropping it.
I'd had a couple of good ones. I'd eyesight in mini twin, like Castle Coombe. That was a broken wrist and a.
That was the red and yellow one.
Yeah. And I did the standard thing, which was cut it off 3 weeks early because I had to go racing, so I was winning the championship. You do also any... but I was
you're not the only one.
I know. That's what I mean. It's standard, isn't it?
And what's the saying? If you're going to be dumb, you better be tough.
Yeah.
We're motorbike racers. We're plenty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You'll still do it.
I was paying some voodoo witch doctor up London. I was to Reading somewhere with this laser bone treatment.
Yeah.
I don't know, did it work?
Go try, you know.
Well, yeah. You feel like, how much? Well, you can get me racing. Fucking hell.
Do whatever you need to do.
Yeah,
like.
exactly.
What was the sort of recovery like then with those injuries you got now and like?
Well, obviously the Manx coming up tonight.
Yeah.
Nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Ribs, they take a long time, but they.
And you can't do nothing with them.
No, you can't really. It's just constant there. It's pain all the time.
On the back, where it was brutal. I had an hyperbaric chamber to the house.
Nice.
Mint.
Yeah.
400 quid, 100 quid a week. In my front room when I was getting up early in the morning to jump in there and then doing I was twice a day.
That make a difference as well.
I think so, yeah. Bones in it.
Well, I've done a cryo chamber and I've done hyperbaric.
Yeah.
But the first time I ever went hyperbaric, they didn't tell me to blow my ears. Oh my God, I got to like 4,000 feet or whatever it is, or minus 4,000 feet. And I'm like, ah! Well, like, I felt like Arnold Schwarzenegger on Total Recall, like, ah! I'm like, what's wrong? Yeah. I'm like, what's wrong? Like, my ears. They're like, oh yeah, you can blow your ears. I'm like, now you tell me, like, ah, thank God for this.
So you did the Manx that year.
Yeah. That was last year.
That was last year, and I know you did the park as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't end well, did it?
Yeah, I was going to ask, going back to the park last year. I mean, to be honest, I was surprised that you.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd use my head. I only took the 400.
Yeah.
Stay away from the big stuff because the last thing I needed was another little tumble in it.
No.
And
yeah, how was the park last year?
Bike up, well, mint.
Yeah.
I sat back and watched all the carnage. I had a fucking first class seat, didn't I? With
Will and Chris, yeah. Oh, you came to me. It was just like, you get some good stuff on my onboard.
Yeah, sit there. I was behind them, following it all, watching it all unfold, and I, wow. Chris is some boy, mind.
Oh, he's a good racer.
Brilliant, but he was real all-round class. I did a free tech endurance race with Alex Sinclair on a 125. Pembrey, I don't know how long that is. It's something like 6 hours or something like that.
Just flat out round Pembrey. Like.
Yeah, down the back straight, tacked in again, and the bike started to slow up. I was like, fuck, what's the matter with this? Now when I turned around, fucking Chris North, I was hanging on the back of my seat, fucking pulling me back. I said, fucking off,
That'd be great on camera, wouldn't it? Give us
a lift, brilliant. Yeah, but
he's a good lad, isn't he?
Legend.
He's class, like,
legend.
Yeah. But then, do you think you rushed back to get to the Manx this year?
Yeah.
Last year?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was nowhere near ready.
But was that what you needed for your recovery? Like something to look forward to.
You can't miss it, can you?
Unless
they take a leg.
Yeah.
Unless it's proper,
Yeah.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, you just keep going.
Like.
How was the Manx this year? And like, it was. I know the weather was horrendous anyway, but like
bad. We got no right timing, but
no,
it's nobody's fault, No,
it is what it is.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's just weather, isn't it?
There's nothing you can do about it. But I suppose this year with your injury as well, it probably was a blessing in disguise, maybe. Possibly.
Yeah.
I know it's annoying. You could spend that money to get out there, but
yeah, I don't know. It's just one of them, innit? It wasn't good conditions, but it was damp everywhere. Do you know what I mean? It was proper damp.
Yeah, a lot to lose, nothing to gain.
My self-preservation switch is, you get older now, and it kicks in a bit quick.
Yeah.
Well, it does. Yeah. It's a fact. Like.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And I thought,
And what's your plans now for this year? I mean, what's the racing itinerary and schedule looking like?
Yet. Only because I've had a lot going on in my personal life. Moved house, just a lot going on really, and new job, new business.
Yeah.
And the plan is we're just going to do some track days with Phil Davis down Pembrey. He wants to be instructors, a few of us down there, so I'll be a laugh.
Yeah.
Keep us riding.
Yeah.
definitely going to do a bit of racing, so I obviously need to keep my signatures going. Entries already in for the... I think I was actually one of the first people to put the entry for the park.
I know. I need to pull my finger out. Because I've been away working. I haven't had access to printers.
Derek, he's like, fucking hell, you were killing it,
What are you riding this year?
Twin 600.
Yeah.
Maybe the 400, but I'm not going to hold my breath. If we get it going... Because I got 3 400s and they're not in...
None of them working.
Kind of defeats the point, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Welcome to 400 race.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it a spare of a spare of a spare of a spare?
Well, if you combine all three together, you have got one
Some
good
sort of a bike. Yeah. Well, watch the space on the 400.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'd like to. I love the little 400s they meant.
Yeah. So you got the park,
Park,
the
and
Manx. Manx.
But the pattern of the park?
Don't know.
So saving that for the Manx.
I think so. I think,
something else.
yeah, because they didn't do a lot for the Manx. I think I did like 4 laps in the 600.
Yeah.
That is pretty much, I think, yeah. The 400s, the 600s in bits, literally this afternoon before you came. So fresh bit of paint, just make it all.
Kawasaki's again?
Yeah, same again. I was thinking of changing Honda, but then,
It's time.
yeah, I've got everything I need. It's ready to go.
Yeah, you've got all the spares.
I could do without the spares.
Again,
Yeah.
So the plan is literally, pattern needs a little bit of love in a couple of places. Got oil cooler for it. We just need to make sure we fit in that a bit better than what it was this year. Just a couple of
Yeah. So
tweaks, you know what I
slightly.
mean?
little improvements.
Yeah, exactly that. I literally just wrap it up in cellophane, run ready to go. Then that's the plan.
So a slightly quieter year this year, but next year looking to up it again, pending how things go, or
If that does well, it'll be a big bike, a little bike, and an even littler bike, and we'll be going flat out.
talking about your latest venture, taking up a lot of your time at the moment, performance emissions. Could you tell us a bit about what that's all about?
So, I originally got asked to get involved with the product because it is an octane booster. So, with the racing, octane...
High octane fuel.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Exactly that. And that's why they approached me, to help them sort of promote it, really. And the timing was perfect because I had other stuff going on in my personal life where the current job was put to one side, and so I had a bit of time, and it worked out lovely. Got involved with some brilliant testing. So we got a brand new TM450. There's a guy I know does some, he does like probably about 80% of the supermoto paddock engines. He's the go-to guy. He knows his stuff, you know. They had a brand new TM450 there. We stuck Shell Optimax fuel into it, run it in, done a power run, introduced the product, instantly had a 5% power increase. I was like, ooh, lovely.
On a
Every little percentage,
Lovely.
On a 450 as
go for
well,
it.
like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's why I sort of got involved in it. So off the back of that then, I got more interested in it. We done some more testing. We took a couple of cars over to Bristol University. Done some put 2 cars in a dynos over there with a petrol Golf and a diesel Polo. Done a power run, same thing. Then knew what the miles per gallons were. Done an emissions test. Then went away. We worked out about 2.5 tanks by the time we went back.
Yeah.
Done it all again. Went away, with the product in it. Come back after 5th tank. And I'm all about the power side of it, but the product was actually invented to make a combustion engine 0 emissions, which it achieves.
Yeah.
Now, when I was initially got involved in it, and I was talking to people and saying, oh, look, we can make a petrol or diesel engine, or any engine come to that, 0 emissions, they were looking at me as if I had 3 friends. They really did,
Yeah.
And I was like, I knew it was right, because I met the chemist, he's running around in a Bentley Continental, right? MOT said it's 0, fucking 70.
Yeah.
I know,
That's impossible, isn't it?
Really.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, I got to see this with my own eyes. This is why the Bristol University report came about. So after that got people interested. People were taking it serious then, and so much so, Caerphilly County Borough Council listened and did a trial. They put it in 5 refuse vehicles.
Nice.
Proper dirty diesels, are they?
Of course,
they're only taking over the side of the road.
Yeah, taking over 5 miles down the road.
DPF's going, please clog me.
Yeah.
After 5 weeks, 4 of them came back 0 emissions. And the only reason the 5th one didn't is because it needed another week or so to just go through, carry on the cleaner phase.
Right.
It doesn't strip the engine of all the carbon. It's designed to take it away slowly. Look.
Gradually.
Yeah.
Right. What it does is it increases the octane and the cetane levels to encourage the fuel to burn 100%. So technically, there is no carbon to build up in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's clever, and with the fact then that you've taken all the build up of carbon out the engine, 100% fuel burn, far more efficient engine like the day it was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're seeing some significant miles per gallon increases.
Yeah. So people are saving money as
Win-win
well.
all the way.
Yeah. So we'll say
Yeah.
Saving environment, which a lot of people care about.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't. But yeah,
you can't change that.
no.
That's-
I mean, I race motorbikes. I burn petrol, right? Tires.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
frowned upon me.
Yeah.
And if I got a vision, you know, I've already spoken to ACU with a view of trying to get it introduced into.
Yeah. As the fuel additive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To
so
try and limit
what's-
our emissions.
What's
Yeah,
the sort of
absolutely.
next phase for performance emissions now? Is it like you've had this trial with Philly Council now? Is it venture into like other councils to see if they're willing to test it, or is it going into
No,
the
absolutely.
motorsport? Or
Yeah, no, well, the motorsport isn't going to be an easy one, and I don't think it's going to be really it's not all about the money, but it's not going to be that profitable, and it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
What I'm finding is, you know, we need to go straight to a awarding body. They need to change the rules to get it introduced,
course.
you know, and they're already looking at biofuels.
Yeah.
They've done tests with biofuels, and they're going to be introducing
I'm
them.
pretty sure. Wasn't it one of the World Supersport teams, maybe Tenkate or something like that, ran some biofuel and some biodegradable fairings and stuff. So they are pushing the green thing.
Try it.
Like every little helps, and you know if this helps, then you know we're all for it.
No, absolutely.
I got it in my vehicles already, so you know.
Yeah, no, I've got a collaboration potentially happening with Andy of Scarborough.
Yeah.
He's introducing the product into the fleet with a view of promoting the fact that, you know, all the vehicles that are building and looking after the infrastructure.
Zero emissions. Yeah. Smart. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and again, if it's saving people a few extra quid on miles per gallon, and again, it's
win-win.
no brainer.
Look, it's more to than that as well. You'll never have a carbon-related problem again.
Yeah. No DPF problems, no EGR problems.
Absolutely that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of bus companies struggling,
Yeah.
20 mile an hour around town.
Yeah, yes, that's
No
just
gunked up intake manifolds.
that's gulping the stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. So we got some really good trials on, what else is Neath Port Talbot
Yeah.
are on board.
Cool.
Nice.
They're on board as well, yeah. We've spoken to Cardiff. That's around the corner, I reckon.
So where can we get it?
Online?
Yeah.
It is online, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a. I am probably
Performanceemissions.com. So have a look.
Is on it, have a gander, yeah. But yeah, no, it's been an absolute pleasure coming up here, mate.
Yeah,
it's been great. It's been a great crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a good laugh. It's
Yeah,
not. It's
yeah,
not as bad as it is.
Oh, and you're welcome back anytime. But
Thanks for the crack.
we can talk crap for fucking days.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
The WhatsApp groups are horrendous, isn't it? But Mike, mate, it's been a pleasure coming up here, mate, and we wish you all the best for this year, and of course the business as well.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the park in July.
Thank you very much.
Top man.
Thank you.